Right, so let's go to the PC IP config. As you can see, I do have 192.168.101.100 IP address, and this PC is part of domain controller. You see the carp.bank1. So if I go to this PC now and type net user, and I'm going to the bank domain, and it will show me which domain I'm connected right now. As you can see in the top, it's a carp.studemia.com. That's my domain controller, and that's the bank1. That's the username and the banker full name. And that PC has a couple of permissions. You see the remote desktop, domain admin, and domain user permission right now. So if I go to net group and the domain, as you can see that those are my DC1. That's my host name, and carp.studemia is the domain name. In this domain name, I do have a couple of default group, and I just created one group called NI_helpdesk, and everything else is the default in the domain controller. That's the basic. So let's go to NS lookup, and if I type DC1, you see the top, this is my domain controller highlighted small, and if I type DC1 now, and it's going to be show me my domain controller and the DNS server. As you can see in the below, DNS server is 254. So now let's go to the Mimikatz documents. I do have a master folder, and what I have to do from here, I have to open as an administrator permission, otherwise Mimikatz will not work. So if I say yes, as you can see, I'm going to make it bigger font and bigger screen. The first thing you have to do, Mimikatz, you have to, once you run as an administrator, you have to say privilege ::, and you have to say debug. That's the administrative privilege you have to type first thing when you're on these tools. After that, I'm going to the log, and I'm going to give them a log name. Let's say for password.log. So anything I type is going to be as a txt file in the background. Later on, I can take a look what command I type. And then I have to type security, then ::, and then we will say password log password. So that is going to be dumped in the memory if there's any plain text password. If not, it's going to say null. As you can see my screen, the most of the output is a null. The reason is widget, which is Windows Digest, is disabled right now. That's why we see that everything is null, but we could see the NTLM hash that's abstracting from the memory. Now, if we wanted to abstract plain text password, what I have to do, you see that the txt file that I have mentioned. So this is all here what I typed. This is giving me as an output log in txt file. Now in the txt file everything is null, so now we have to go to the PowerShell, and I'm going to enable, this is the parameter set property path, and this is absolute path to the WD digest, and I have to say user login credential, then I have to type value. So once I type value, it has to be 1, by default is 0, that means it's encrypted. But if I hit enter, I will get the error message. The reason is because I don't have administrative privilege, right? So I have to run my PowerShell as an administrative mode. This is like a user mode, so I have to go PowerShell, right, as an administrator. I'm going to use up arrow key. Everything else same. I'm going to say value, and I'll put 1. Once you do that, I have to restart the PC, otherwise it's not going to be impacted. So I will say restart, and once you restart, and as you can see my screen, I'm going to log back to again the banker PC. As soon as I type my password, and I'm going to go back to the previous screen, which is Mimikatz, we have to do same thing again, privilege : debug. That will allow us for the privilege mode in the Mimikatz tool itself. Then we're going to say secure LSA. You know what, before secure LSA, let's do the log output again. Log, I'm going to change the log name called next after underscore or after login, right? So that's the way you know this is the next folder, new folder. Then I will say seek URL LSA : then log 1 password. As soon as hit enter, now it's going to read any plain text password from the memory. So as you can see, I have a bank1 carp, the highlighted portion where it says password 123. So now every time user logged into the computer, so that is reading out as a plain text, right? any other user logged into the same computer, any other username and password, everything will be plain text because we disable this one. So now let's go back to the notepad, right? This is exactly, you see the highlighters one, password 123. So this is the short demo, so we'll talk to you next one.